Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and I get this question asked a lot, and frankly, I'm tired of typing out my answers, so I figure I'll just do a video, and everybody asks me this question, I'll just give them a link to the video. So if you're watching this video, and I say a link, well, here you go. Me being lazy. But I get asked this question a lot, and I just thought it'd be a good way to answer it. First time channel, welcome. I'm an automotive journalist. I've been a journalist for 10 years. I drive dozens of trucks each year. I buy trucks, I live trucks, I talk to engineers, I spend a lot of time on this topic. So if you're looking for a new full-size truck and you're new to the market, which is happening a lot these days, this is probably the video you want to watch. So let's talk through how I see the marketplace, how things have changed, and I'm going to ask and answer that dreaded question. I'm going to answer that dreaded question, which truck would I buy? Which is just impossible for me to answer, but let's give it a shot. So the email comes from Dean, and Dean says, "Hey Tim, first let me say I enjoy your videos. I'm 60 years old and have been driving a 2007 Chevy Suburban, and I'm in the market for a new truck and would like your opinion on what I should be considering." Lots of change since 2007, so I can see why this question comes up. I mean, from 2007 to 2022 model year we're at right now, it's like the world has changed. Things are so much different. Dean says, "This will be the last vehicle I purchased. I'm looking for something that will last with no rusting and no oil leaks down the road. I'll be using the truck as my daily driver. I'll be towing a boat and using the truck for hunting." This is my kind of guy. I like this guy. "I know there is Toyota Tundra, Chevy, Ford, and GMC to look at. Based on your experience and what companies are doing with their new trucks, can you give me some recommendations of what to go look at? Right now my budget would be around a $60,000 range, but if that's a must, I can save more money and get the truck at a later time." So what he's saying is, if he's going to buy something right now, it's about $60,000. He needs to tow a boat and needs to use a truck for hunting. Well, those are great truck things. Those are very common things. I've done both with those trucks. So let's do this though. Let's say, in his case, he hasn't been in the marketplace since, let's say he bought 2007 new. Probably bought it in 2006. So it's been about, what is it? My math's not so great. 10, 15, say 15 years. Yeah, 15, 16 years since he looked at trucks. And yeah, there's a lot been changed. So let's start with this. So he brought up in his order. Let's do his order. His order is Toyota Tundra. So if you haven't, well, I think he's been watching these videos. So I have bought a brand new 2022 Toyota Tundra for the channel, limited. And there's tons of stuff that's new in this truck. So let's start with them. If you're going to go Toyota Tundra, I would buy the newest edition. A lot of people ask me, would you buy the V8 or the twin turbo V6? Well, frankly, I would buy the V8, but the V8's not possible anymore. It doesn't exist. Now all we have is 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. But that 2022 Tundra is so much better in nearly every category than, except for tow hooks, than the 2021 Tundra. That really, I mean, it behoove you to buy a 2021 at this point. Your interior is so much better, your ride quality is better, your towing is better, the fuel economy is better in the 3.5. So I would start with if you're doing the Tundra, I would go Crew Max, and I would literally buy what I bought. TRD Off-Road Limited. You get heated seats, you get cooled seats, you get the heated steering wheel, which is a little lukewarm, and you get a lot of stuff for that truck for the dollar. So I would start that route. And then I would go, I don't know if I'd go platinum. There's as you go platinum and as you go higher trim levels, you get into 65, 70, 75. A lot more creature comforts, which are great. People talk about features all the time. Well, look, features are really nice. If you haven't used them, you don't know what you're missing. And once you use them, you don't want to give them up. That's kind of what happens with that. So if you're doing Toyota Tundra, Crew Cab Limited, that's kind of where I'd be. And the Tundra, I would say, out of this group, is probably the most reliable truck. We think there's going to be some concerns in turbochargers and long-term reliability on those. I got my fingers crossed. I think they'll be fine, as Ford has been fine, but early on there had been some problems with some Ford engines too. So I would say look at that round, but reliability is still up a little bit in the air. I'm not saying it won't be bad. I'm not anti-Toyota fans right now, but I'm just saying it's just a little grain of salt on that one. So let's look next. So he says Chevy, then Ford, and GMC. Let's put Chevy and GMC together. So what's changed in GM trucks is over the last 15 years been massive, right? So used to be GM, when they first came out, GMCs were kind of like the work trucks, and then that's been evolving and switched. So now GMC is your premium truck, and your Silverado is your entry-level truck. Now the Silverado you can get in crew cab, you can get the regular cab as well as extended cab. I like crew cab for the space, but you can do an extended cab. And again, he doesn't say what he wants crew cab or extended cab. Crew cab is most popular. Crew cab is better for resale value. And frankly, even if you don't carry that many people, having the extra space behind the cabin behind the rear seats, and a lot of times you can fold those up, or sometimes you have a flat loading floor in some cases, like Ford does. It's nicer. It's better to put guns back there. You can lock the doors. You have plenty of space. So I always go crew cab for this situation. So looking at Chevy and GMC, what's changed? Especially this year has been great. So 2022, we have a new interior. That was the huge miss for the last generation that just came out. So definitely buy a 2022. The 21 is not a bad interior. It's a very functional interior, I should say. But the 2022 interior is night and day better. And right now might be the better time to buy Chevy and GMC trucks because they don't have enough semiconductors to make the dynamic fuel management system working. So maybe more reliable. A lot of people hate that system, and right now you can't even get it. Although there are some dealerships out there that you can't even get heated seats right now because the semiconductor weird thing and different stuff going on. So look around, see what's going on with that. As far as the dynamic fuel management, see what's on the marketplace. But right now, as it stands today, until the GM get more semiconductors, they haven't been able to make that system work. But what you have in the Chevys right now is you have a 2.7, 5.3, you have a 6.2, and a 3-liter diesel. I will tell you all day, even though I'm hearing a few issues here and there with the diesel, and there is the issue at 150,000 miles that you have to change and inspect the belt, which you should change anyways. You have to drop transmission to do that if you've seen that video. I love that diesel. Oh my god, I absolutely love that diesel. The diesel is the one to get. The 6.2 is really nice as well. 6.2 used to be a big knock on fuel. You do have to use premium on the 6.2, but the fuel economy is really good in that truck, so you're going to kind of pro and con there. Higher price for gas, but the fuel economy is there in a bigger engine, and towing, that thing's just a monster. The 5.3 is a pretty good engine. A lot of good people have said good things about it. I think I've driven it maybe once or twice. It's not like amazing, doesn't throw back in the seats, but it's been a pretty solid engine. And the 2.7, I was pretty impressed with 2.7. You know, it's a turbocharged engine. Chevy's been a small block engine leader for decades. My biggest issues with Chevys has been the seats. The seats suck. Every Chevy owner I know, or GMC owner I know, unless they're a GMC owner for life or they have an older model, it seems like they always told me the seats are sucking. My neighbor's got 2 Chevys and he hates both seats, and his wife has to have a seat foam to sit in them. So I don't understand what the seat issue is. I would go higher trim GMC if I were to do that case. You can't get all the way to Denali in that, but you could, you know, in the Silverado and the GMC, you could do the off-road ones like this. Man, that Trail Boss, it looks really cool, and it's got higher ground clearance. And I just actually saw one on the way home, and I'm still admiring it. I mean, it's been, it came out in 2019. I've been looking at this thing for 2-3 years, and every time I see a Trail Boss driving around, I'm like, man, that's a good-looking truck. I like that truck a lot. The front end is kind of growing on me. The grill is growing on me a little bit over time. It wasn't as stark as I first thought. I was like, oh my gosh. It's not as bad as the Tundra grill is at times, different trims, but that's Silverado Trail Boss. Big fan of that one. GMC Sierra makes an AT4 package, which is their off-road package. Again, nice looking truck. You get the Rancho shocks, you get skid plates for if you're going hunting. Good skid plates are always well received. You get the off-road tires. I would go AT4. And a boat, you could be able to tow a boat with a Trail Boss or AT4. Each one is going to be the same. There are some issues. We're going to talk about GMC and Chevy and Ford have some transmission issues. People either have hit or miss. I've seen a lot of guys with Ford actually go to dealerships and get a reflash in a transmission, and it actually works out great. A lot of jerkiness to start with, so keep that a grain of salt. Rust issues. So I did a video where I crawled underneath the Tundra, I crawled underneath the Chevy, I crawled underneath the Sierra, I crawled underneath the Ford, I crawled underneath the Nissan, and a Ram as well. And all of those trucks had rust except for the Ram and the Toyota Tundra. And Ram tells us that they actually coat their undercarriage based on consumer feedback. That those consumers demanded a rust-free undercarriage, and they gave it to them. And Toyota undercoats, they do the undercoating on their truck, and because of all the rust issues they had in the past with frames, they're not playing that game anymore. They're just like, we're not replacing more frames. We're just gonna undercoat the heck out of these things. They actually look like you could eat off of them. That's how good the differential cover looks. It's pretty impressive. So I mean, if I was doing Chevy GMC at $60,000 mark, I would go 5.3 is fine. I'd love to go to the diesel if you can get a deal on diesel with a Trail Boss. Go that direction. AT4. One of the things going on, I think for a while there, you couldn't get the Silverado with the diesel. You could only get the AT4 with the diesel. I'm not sure that's the case anymore, but definitely check that out shopping around. buy one or the other. But I'd go AT4 diesel in the Sierra. Ford. So last year I bought an F-150 XLT Power Boost because I want to try that truck. I thought the XLT with the 302 high package, again, these packages really matter a lot for Ford. It seems like they have a lot of different packages going on. So definitely shop around the packages, but you get the bigger screen. I had the cloth seats in mine. I thought the cloth seats were great. I actually like the cloth seats better than I like the leather seats in the Ford. And that's just me because I don't get the truck to drive for more than a week. And that leather really takes more time to break in, and I just don't get a chance to do that. So I like the cloth seats XLT. I had the rubber. I don't think if I bought. No, I had cloth. I didn't have rubber floor mats in that, but I had the Power Boost and I had the Power on Board. And I'm such a big fan of the Power on Board, having a 7.2 kilowatt back there, plug in wherever I want to go, plug in whatever I had anywhere around the house, worked out great. The hybrid was really cool in that the way it operated and the fuel economy. And the biggest thing I'm gonna tell you right now is I'm a huge fan of the lighting. They do zone lighting where when you walk up to the truck, the whole truck illuminates all around it, and then you can use your phone app, which I'm gonna guess you maybe you have a smartphone. You're well aware of how that works. If you can download the app and get a smartphone, you can sit in your house or sit at your on your boat as you're driving in and press the buttons on your phone, and it actually turns out lights around your truck and illuminates the whole thing. So really good for loading your boat up at night. Really good for night hunt when you come back from hunting or hunting in the morning. When you get out, it's all lit up around you. You have a perimeter lighting, able to get your guns out, get your ammo out, get your whatever decoys. You're going goose hunting, whatever, and you can see everything around you. And you back up the trailer, and they have good cameras in the Ford. Chevy and GMC also have really good cameras as well for trailering. And so really, that's where I would go. I would go XLT. I would go Power Boost. Frankly, I think the Power Boost is just, it's so quiet. I mean, I slept in my truck, let it run, and didn't wake anybody up in the campsite. And they were in tents. That's how quiet that thing is. I love the power on board. I love the zone lighting. So, and my truck was about $60,000 last year. So I'm buying right in your range. So I bought the XLT Power Boost last year, about 60, and the Tundra I bought this year is about 60. The brand you're not talking about, and I think you need to take a different look at it, is Ram. I know Ram has had a lot of problems, or Dodge Ram, you want to say it, has a lot of problems with reliability over the last couple of years, or, well, since the 1990s. But they've really gotten a lot better. And I just actually emailed a guy today, back and forth a little bit, trying to do a video with him. He just crossed 1 million miles on his 2012 Ram. I think it's 3/4 ton. And so, yeah, I'm telling you, Ram has come miles and miles better. And they got, I think, the best looking truck out there. I think they got the best looking interiors out there, and the powertrain choices, right? So you have the EcoDiesel, you have they have still the V6, 3.5 liter V6. They have the 5.7 liter V8, and they have in the heavy duties, I think they have the 6.4 liter Hemi. You're probably looking at 5.7 liter. The EcoDiesel, I don't like it as much as I do the Chevy because it doesn't quite get the same fuel economy in my testing, but it's a solid diesel engine. A 3 liter diesel engine in a half-ton truck, man, makes so much sense. Fuel economy, towing, everything makes sense. There has been some concern in the generation before on the what they're going to call Generation 1 for the United States. Generation 2 is actually the technical term, and we're on Generation 3 of this EcoDiesel engine. There has been some concern in Generation 2. There was some emissions adjustment that changed some of the performance of it. There's been some issues with the lower bearings on that engines, but I would tell you that the third generation, I haven't heard the same amount of complaints. And third generation, you can go, is it Laramie? I think Laramie or Bighorn, you get a lot of value for your dollar, and you'd be in that $60,000 range. 5-link coil suspension, 4-wheel drive, the great interiors. My only concern with the Ram trucks is I've been on a couple of used truck lots, and I need to do some more research on this, but the used Rams I've seen need to take care of the interiors. It seems like they look more beat up than I have seen other interiors. It's just that really nice materials they use always cause questions for me on how long it's gonna last. But yeah, it's the trucks are fantastic. They look great. You get special editions. You can get any way you want them. And I love the barn door tailgate. That's the thing too about tailgates. You know, shop around for tailgates too. So like Tundra doesn't have a really good tailgate, and you can't get in the bump. You can't, when tailgate's down, you can't get in the truck. It's my biggest pet peeve unless you have a step bumper. And they didn't really, the tailgate's fine, I should say, in the Tundra, but they didn't do anything with it. There's no barn doors, no special things. Chevy and GMC both have like this multi-fold tailgate that comes down. The step comes down. You have a little handle, hops get in the bed. And you may be in amazing shape. You may be a fitness runner at 60. You may be a marathoner. I don't know what kind of shape you're in. But I can tell you from me, I just like the ease of getting in the bed. It's just, it's so simple. I'm a well, quite a bit younger than you are, but still for me, getting in the bed is so much easier with the GMC and Chevy trucks. I just like it, and they have the corner step to hop in really easily. They've made their bed really usable. Ford has, I did a video on this, they have a new tailgate working on coming out that may be the best of all worlds, but they also do have the in-bed step that comes out when you drop the tailgate. There's a step that comes out of the tailgate, and that's pretty convenient to get in the bed. I mean, you know, my biggest thing with trucks is everything I want always goes towards the front of the cab away from the back of the bed. So even though you drop tailgate, you can't reach the damn thing. And so I'm a big fan of that. Ram has those, what I call Dutch doors, but they're barn doors. They open up like this, and you can get in that way. Really convenient when you have your boat hooked up. You can actually open up one side and actually reach through, and you don't have to take, you know, get around the boat and do this kind of stuff. You can actually have some access to the bed with the boat on there, and then you get Ram boxes. That's the thing. You can get Ram boxes in the, well, Ram truck, right? There's good underseat storage, but Ram boxes are really damn cool. You can actually lift them up and put your rifle in there, and you can actually lock your rifle in, or ammo, or whatever you want to carry hunting, shotguns and things, whatever you're hunting with, and you can actually lock it up. And then the other side, you can go ahead and put some ice in there, and when you're done hunting, you can have a nice cold one on ice, thanks to your truck. And there's a drain for all the water that builds up. Big fan of that. I may not have used that a few times. And the other truck that people I asked a lot is Nissan Titan. It's kind of a dark horse. People don't talk about it very much. They're not so well known as the other brands. I would tell you from a reliability standpoint, the Nissan Titan has been pretty reliable from our studies, and it's a pretty solid truck. I have no complaints with the Titan. I think the 2020 model year, when they updated it, they really made it more competitive. It has all the features that other competitors have. But it's just kind of a dark horse. People don't talk about it very much. It has a 5.7 liter engine in there too, that you can get better performance if you run premium in it. It's kind of set up for that. But you can just run 87 as well. Or regular grade, whatever regular grade is going to be if you want to go even lower than that. But most trucks these days are going about 87 is kind of where the number is for octane. But that's kind of a dark horse. Like I said, good warranty, one of the best warranties in the business. And tow's fine, and really good. I mean, don't have any complaints in the truck. I've driven a few times, and I think I've done a solid job. Is it class leading? Oh no, it's not class leading. But who cares? It's a good, solid, kind of old school truck to me, and it's really, to me, it's really pretty competitive, and it doesn't get maybe the recognition that maybe it deserves for being, you know, a pretty solid competitor. But when I look at, you know, the market, people always ask me what's the best truck to buy. Well, I buy things for stupid reasons. I buy the latest, greatest, newest truck, whatever out there, and I buy it because I want to do videos and all the new features. And I hope there's really good stuff I talk about, and there's probably bad stuff I'm going to talk about because I'm going to make the truck better for you. My feeling is when I have bad feedback on a truck, I know engineers watch this stuff, and I want to give them the feedback so they can improve the product. So all of us consumers have a better product. So I can't really tell you what the best truck to buy is. It just depends. Really, it comes down to a lot of things. And I tell people all the time, like, if you're big focused on reliability, you said oil leaks and rust, so reliability is your biggest concern. Well then, you know, Toyota Tundra and Nissan Titan. Those are the two that have been historically the more reliable trucks over a long period of time. Now they also have less volume, and when you sell less trucks, you tend to have less problems. Little grain of salt, right? Chevy GMC, they've been known for being a reliable truck for years. Yes, people have had some problems with some lifters. We have some. We've done a story on it, pickuptrucktalk.com. We've analyzed the lifter problem. I think I actually paid a guy who was a mechanic out there to do some information on it. And yeah, there's some issues with lifters on those trucks. It seems like it's hit or miss for some people. And again, a lot of stuff's hit or miss, right? So you can go get a Toyota Tundra and get a lemon. You can go get a Titan and get a lemon. You can get a Ford and a lemon, whatever. Any trucks could have an issue, but historically, Chevy's made a pretty solid truck. There has been some oil usage complaints with the active fuel management. They moved to dynamic fuel management, which I talked about earlier in this video, and I haven't heard those same concerns. Are they out there? Sure. Do I hear them? I haven't seen the same concerns. But again, I like the look of those trucks. That kind of issues. Ford, there's ongoing lawsuits, same with General Motors, about 10-speed. There's some learning issues, teething issues, I said, with 10-speed. The 10-speed was a joint venture between GM and Ford, and there's been some shifting issues people are getting used to. But I had a Ford for a year, or 9 months, whatever it was. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid truck. Did I have some rust issues on it? Yeah, I did. So if that's your concern, like I said, then maybe Chevy GMC and Ford aren't where you're going to be looking. You know, there are some histories of some rust issues. There's some histories of oil leaks. I can't wait. I'm getting a Ford in a week or so. I can't wait to see if they've fixed a rust issue. And again, Ram's no rust. The quality's really improved. And I would say, you know, if I were to really break it down, out of the volume sellers, I'm gonna buy a Ram next. If that tells you anything, just because I'm really curious too. I mean, I have never had a Ram, and I'm really curious if I'm full of it or not. About quality, I'm just curious if I have any problems. But a big fan of the looks of it. I just people don't seem like they like it as much because they're still hung up on the fact that Ram built a bad truck for a long time. They built a really bad truck, and now I think they have a really solid truck. And I'm hoping the reliability comes up. So that's what I'll be looking at. I hope that gives you some information. Again, I can't just say, go buy this one, this is what you want to watch. Because, you know, I have the Tundra, and a guy emailed me today. He's got a limited with a ton of problems in Canada, and I have the same truck. So, I mean, you can eliminate any way you want to go. But I hope that helps anybody out there shopping for a new truck. That's how I see the marketplace, and that's how things have changed. And I tell you what, it's never been a better time to buy a full-size truck except for the pricing. They're price gouging everywhere. If you can hold off for a while until market demand lessens and supply goes up, you'll be much better. You'll save more money. But what I want to say, the best time to buy a full-size truck, because these trucks today, they drive smoother, they get better fuel economy, they have more features that are really usable features like zone lighting and power on board, and their creature comforts are great. You have tons of room, and you can drive across the country, and your back doesn't hurt. Nothing hurts except for a Chevy truck. But, you know, I mean, you can drive across the country with these trucks, and it's so smooth. It's so comfortable, and they're so usable. So that's why I love trucks, because, well, they're awesome. So for more, check out these videos over here. I have like 1,000 and some videos on this channel, all sorts of reviews and things. Lots of stuff you can learn. Make sure you check this out. Website down below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.